welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the 24 days of Allie D Minimally. Today's video is day number 17 and today's video is going to be all about more prep for 2023. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about 2023 and some things that I've added recently and just kind of an overall picture about something that I didn't talk about in my sinking funds video or anything else. So we're going to start with these three. These three envelopes came from another Etsy shop that I really love. She makes cash envelopes. I will link her down below. These are my three rolling sinking funds. This year when I was looking at my sinking funds and kind of just being more intentional with some sinking funds, I realized that there's three that I don't really want to set a goal for. I just want to keep rolling from month to month, and I have a set amount for each one. So the first is car maintenance, and the reason that I like these ones for this is because of the way she has it out. She has it so you can put whatever you want there. So I have all the months. I have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So all 12 months, and I'm going to highlight every time I add for the month. So for this is $40 a month, so $20 each pay period is what I'm going to be taking out for this. Same with my medical sinking fund. I did the same thing with the medical one and the other one. Obviously, this is just 12 months of keeping track. I don't really have a goal for my medical sinking funds. I tried to set a dollar limit, but nothing felt right and good to have, especially with a small child. So I decided to just make it a rolling sinking fund, and I'm rolling $20 a month into this guy. So $10 if I need to break it. So basically why I did like set a goal for the month and then divide it in half is because if one paycheck's smaller than that. So in case nobody knows, I'm an aide for my school district. I'm a 10-month employee. I don't get paid July, August. So that's why I do summer school usually. And some checks are bigger than others and some are smaller than others depending on if I took a day off or if we have a break that we don't get paid for. Aides don't get paid for everything. So I just wanted to clarify that. And I also want to clarify that at least in my state, we don't get paid for Christmas break or spring break as an aide. So I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but I just want to preface it with that. So that's how I divided in half by 10. So if I need to take $10 out instead of a 20, we're good to go. The next one is something that I didn't really think I needed because I've been really trying to be intentional with my clothing purchases throughout the year. But I've decided that since I want to have a more ethical wardrobe and keep it small like I have been, I need to start a sinking fund so that way when something does bite the dust, I can replace it with something more ethical. So that's how I ended up here. And again, this is just going to be $20 a month in here. January and all the months are right there. So then I added a challenge along with some other challenges. I'm not going to share the Budget Mom Challenge because I know that they're making the group for free. But I don't know if the challenges are still just exclusively to the Budget Mom group. So I don't want to share the challenge that I'm going to be doing there. But I am going to show you guys the 2023 tracker. So I'm going to be tracking this month. I started tracking last year and I fell behind because everything ended up just going to mostly debt, and I felt like it was silly to track it. But this year, since I'm really going to be saving my emergency fund and my house payment, which we're going to talk about I already talked about my house payment, but we're going to talk about my emergency fund in a second. I figured that I would really I'm going to be doing more sinking funds. I'm really going to be looking to see where I'm putting my money at the end of this. And it says I was able to save at the end. So they have they have all the months of the year, obviously. So next up, I'm going to be doing the $5 challenge. I've decided since I'm doing all cash envelope spending this year that for my variable expenses that I would actually do the $5 challenge this year. And I printed the envelope from Best Kept Plans again because it's easier for me than getting a jar, because especially since I'm decluttering and getting rid of things in my life, it's really just easier for me to have an envelope that I can print out. So that's it. I will link her down below as well because she's really affordable for cash envelopes as well as sinking fund envelopes, and I love supporting her. So I just want to say that. Okay, so next up is I sat down this year and I sat down this last couple of weeks and really thought about what I wanted to save. I'm in a very unique position. I am a single mom, but we live with family, and I'm trying to get us out. And I really started looking at what I want house-wise and what I want my emergency fund to look like right now. And that's kind of when a light bulb went off for me. And I decided to make because what I was doing was I was combining my car maintenance, my emergency fund, and my house savings onto one like lump sum. And I decided to do the opposite. I decided to remove my house savings from my emergency fund and my car maintenance into an envelope. For me, that's just going to work right now. So with that being said, that left me with questions and then I ended up, and I have my emergency fund account. So then I ended up looking at what I wanted my goal to be for my house savings and then what I wanted my goal to be for my emergency fund. So first I started with my emergency fund because I felt that was the best place to go. Now I want to start by saying that this amount may seem small, but I did look at my income and what I make for the year, and I looked at what exactly I want to say like at least 20 or 10% of my income was. I can't remember the exact number right now. And that's how I ended up here, was with this number. I ended up with wanting to start small for my emergency fund and grow from there, because that to me felt like an easier feat than going straight out the gate with 60% of my income or so on and so forth, especially since I have one more credit card to pay off. So that's how I ended up with $10,000 in 1 year, bi-weekly. So then I ended up was like, okay, there's a lot of challenges out there in regards to, and a lot of breakdowns of $10,000 in 26 pay periods, because that's like how I get paid. And I was like, and then I like was Googling, and there was a lot more of like 52 weeks, and I don't want to like be stressing about like every week making sure I'm putting a certain amount of money into my checking from my savings, because that's just going to stress me out. So when this YouTuber who I follow, and I also follow on Instagram, came out with these for bi-weekly, I decided to give them a look just to see what she has. She has a bunch of different ones, 1,000, 20,000, everything. So I was like, okay, perfect. And that's how I ended up finding this tracker. So I don't know if I already said it, but the amount that I'm looking to save this year is $10,000. $10,000 is a good starting point for me, especially since saving money has always been a struggle for me. And I talked about this and how I'm going to save $10,000 in a year in that video, but I wanted to show you guys this because I found this after I filmed that video, because I had been searching for a solution, a like breakdown, especially of like numbers that I can follow, because I sometimes just need a money amount to put in my head to make it work. Now, she has this in two different ways. She has this at $385 per check, which is what I was originally going to go with. But I decided to do it a little bit different and a little bit more of a challenge for me, because of the fact that not every check is the same for me. I wasn't comfortable with doing a set amount of $385 off the top, just because some checks are smaller, some checks are bigger for me because of the way that aides are paid in my state. So I decided to go with her 10,000 a year challenge with different amounts. So 255, 425, 370, 500, 360, 350, and that sort of was what I decided to do. This is from Pennies Not Perfection, and I'm going to pick a circle and color. I'm actually going to start next paycheck, because my next paycheck, I don't have to pay my car payment because I get 3 paychecks this month and I already paid my car payment. So my goal with that check is going to be a little bit different than my goal with my last check. And I only have like one bill that comes out of my checking account that time. So I'm hoping to build my checking cushion and do my savings at the same time. So I'm a little overly excited about that. So that is that scenario. I'm definitely super excited about my progress. I've just been working so hard this year and getting out of debt. It feels really good to have one card left, and I'm really proud of myself for making the decision to do these things with my car payment, not with my car payment, with my sinking funds and with my savings account. I'm really learning, because last year I set myself up for like super hard, super high goals, like pay for my whole house in cash and say $30,000 for my savings account and none of that happened. I saved $1,000. That was it. And like, not to say that $1,000's not good. I've decided to just bring my goals down a little bit. And that was kind of what I talked about in my house buying. That's why I set for $36,000 for them. It just made sense for me to lower my expectations for myself and where I'm at with my life and my career. And I want to also preface this by saying that I'm graduating with a bachelor's, so my financial situation is probably going to change. Right now, it is what it is, but it may change in a year or two. I'm choosing to be grateful that I have a job and that I have the flexibility to bring my son to school with me and be right across the hall from him. And there are positives to where I'm at in this situation. I may not be exactly where I want to be at 30, but because I'm able to, live with family right now, to save up these bigger goals, to like I said, bring my son to work with me, and all these things allow me to have that flexibility to do the things that I want to do. It allows me to finish school. It allows me to go for a master's. It allows me to do the things that I want to do in a bigger scale right now. And I'm learning, and I'm content with where I'm at. Is it where I want to be big picture wise? No. But I'm working my tail off to be where I want to be big picture wise in the next couple of years. So that's kind of why my perspective has changed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give a big thumbs up if you do. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. It would really make my day, and I will see you all next time.